Oh no, he doesn't check things properly.
You've got to check things first, and if you can't find a payment, then you come to me.
Yeah.
Now it's asking, has this been paid? You've got the paper, but you're doing the fucking job.
Yeah. So anyway, sorry about that. Anyway, so here's the program. It's running the program. See all the movements. It's done that hole there, that hole there, and now it's doing the third hole. It's doing six holes as the drawing was showing in the previous video. The 12mm end mill coming down. Piece of steel is on some parallel strips. See those two bars under there? They're parallel strips, you call them. And then it's got the clamps with T-nuts. Okay, the clamps clamp the thing down so it's parallel on the parallel strips. Once it finishes doing these holes at a 14.5mm diameter, it is going to get the tap and tap them so they have a thread. Now remember, this end mill, so my finger's the 12mm end mill, it's going around and down and down and down, which is producing a 14.5mm hole, because that end mill is only 12mm, so therefore it has to go around and around to make a 14.5mm hole, because if it just went straight down it would only make a 12mm hole, wouldn't it? So you see the program. It's gone 18mm deep, 18.5mm deep. It only needs to go about 18 deep, but just to be on the safe side, I made it go a little bit more. So it really just cuts nothing at the moment. But that's because there's a sweep out on the tap, and that I want the tap to cut the full depth of thread. So I made the tap go further. And if I make the tap go further than the end mill, it always gives me that feeling that it's going to hit a bottom hole, a blind hole, and blow up the tap. There we go, it comes up. So I go a bit deeper just to be on the super safe side, which is not necessary, but I like to be super safe. You see what it's doing. Second last hole. Once it does that hole, it does one more hole, and then it goes up. It will change tools to the tap, come tap them all, and that'll be the end of that. That's the program that we had on the laptop, remember, just before in the last video, and I put it into the machine. What Mastercam made. See all these numbers? The Y movement, the Z movement, the I movement, the J movement, they're for arcs, you know, like circles. So the I and the J are like doing like a radius, because it's coming around and going down, isn't it? See, it's coming around and going down. The machine needs to know about, oh, how much is it going to come around? Oh, how much is going to go down? How much is going to move over here? The machine needs to know all these things. And that's what Mastercam works out after you draw a drawing. Mastercam works all this shit out. Instead of sitting there and using trigonometry for a day and a half working all this shit out, you just let Mastercam do it. Because Mastercam does it very well, with no mistakes. If there is a mistake and the machine crashes, it's because I fucked it up, not because of Mastercam. Now it's just cutting air. Oops, I'm at the door. I'll pause this. Okie dokie, I'm back. It's just a parcel getting dropped off. A bunch of bearings, I reckon. So, we're doing the last hole. The good thing about CNC machines is you set them up, and once you set them up, you can walk away, come back, say if you're machining something that's, you know, takes a long time, you just let the machine do it, like a 3D printer. The machine does all the work. All you have to do is set it up. And, you know, once you get good at setting them up, you do it like riding a bike, you know, it's just easy. You just do it all without thinking. It's just learning how to set them up. Takes a couple of weeks of, you know, practice before you're pretty good at it. That's why when I started 3D printing a few years ago, I could do it quite well straight away, because it's not much different than this. Instead of cutting steel, you're just melting plastic, but a 3D printer is no different than the way these things work, pretty much. This is a massive, expensive CNC machine by Moriseki, Japanese company. Highly accurate. I could, you know, get things to within a micron. A 3D printer gets things to within 0.1, 0.07, 70 microns. But when you're 3D printing shit, you don't need it to be that accurate, do you? There we go. Last hole. Done. So, just gonna do a few more mills, come up and get the other tool. So I've got optional stop on, so we can turn that off because I'm here. Now, so there's the program 2021. Just speed it up a bit because we're cutting nothing. Snappity snap, hurry up. There we go. So up it comes. See, 12mm end mill. Done the holes. It's got the tap. There's our tap. Let's go single block. Let's go check. Now we're going to come 50mm. We're going to come to 50mm above the job. So we go start. So that's supposed to be 50mm. Now if that is 50mm, we know that we can run the program. Never run the program before, so you always got to be super duper careful. Now, you think I'd have a vernier close by, but I don't. So let's go get a vernier, just to make sure that looks like 50mm. Where's a fucking vernier? Here's a fucking vernier. Oh, I don't like those ones. Where's a digital vernier? Come on, man. Okay, here we go. This one I do. Alright, so we can zero our vernier. We can come along to 50 fucking mil, which is just here. Alright, we got 50mm. Doesn't really have to be that accurate, because if it's wrong, close enough. If it's wrong, it'll be way off. Does that look like 50mm to you? Mate, that looks like fucking 50 mil to me. So it's right. So ready? Watch this fucking shit. So you go okie dokie, hokey pokey. You push start. So. There's the first hole, right? Does that look like it cut a fucking thread or what? The parcel, Dad, is on the toolbox over there. See the big parcel? So let's just look at this thread, because this is a cheap Chinese tap from the worst manufacturers on the planet. Wow. Looks like a thread to me. You guys reckon that looks like a fucking thread? Yeah, it looks like a thread. It's just funny because, yeah, spindle load went to like 30. I can't believe how unsharp this tap is. Anyway, let's go to the next one. Shit. So, if that was like a Goering tap, or, you know, a proper branded tap, look at this. Look at that. Fuck me. That is out of control. Something wrong there, you'd think, wouldn't you? Hey, Dad! This tap goes up to about 50% spindle load when it's cutting the thread.
Well, because it's a fucking Chinese tap, see?
Yeah. Because it's doing the right, everything's right, you know, it's cutting the thread.
Do one?
I've done two. I just can't believe the spindle load on it, man.
All the stuff that's fucking happened, you might even snap in one of them for all we know.
Well, that's what I'm concerned about.
Which one has it done?
Both of them, those two there. Like 50%, I've never had a tap go up to 50%.
Well, that's the problem.
If it was an end mill, it'd be broken by now. 50% is crazy, man. They break at 30%.
Just see if there's another tap.
See, look, it cut a thread. There's nothing wrong, it's cutting the thread, but that's a brand new tap. Look at this. This is what you get from China. Unbelievable. It's almost not worth the small amount of money you pay for this shit. It was like $100 for all these taps and dies and shit. Now look, you get a lot of stuff for $100. I've got this off eBay. All this Chinese rubbish. Brand new, and it doesn't even work. And it's brand new. This is for a bloke that wants to look at it and go, oh, I've got tools, but never uses it.
It was 16 by 1.5.
Yeah.
It's a Sutton tap, but it's been hand sharpened, see that?
Okay.
What else is there?
I could go buy one. Do you want me to just keep going with that tap, or?
Well, possibly a smashed tap, isn't it?
Well, yeah, 50% spindle load's crazy.
Beat that one.
When I cut a thread with a tap, like a Goering tap, it goes to like 4 or 5%.
Well, I did expect probably run into that problem, but not quite as high as that. But what do you reckon it is? That's the trouble with buying shit. All the metric taps have been put in. I wonder that there's Mike, Roddy and Nathan have got taps.
Yeah.
wonder. No more here. So that's the trouble. These taps have just been hand sharpened. Now we've got nothing else.
Brand new taps in a set. These are brand new. And they're just fucking junk.
You started on the next hole, can you?
Oh, of course I can. Do you want me just to do it again? Cut another one.
No, we must tap it. We're going to have trouble trying to get the tap out and the fucking things.
Do you want to just call cost less bolts and I'll go get one?
Well, I want to fucking $100 for one of those guns.
Probably. Yeah. Alright. Well, anyway, I'll just stop this for now. I'll just go down and get lunch. But look at the problems you get with this cheap shit. Fucking unreal.